Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Takeaway Tables Table Talk podcast. As you can see, we are
Wow.
this is
This is new.
this is something special. We are not at the same table.
No.
Mine's hardly a
We're
table.
not even in the
actually.
same house. It's not even in the same place.
Exactly.
If you guys have no idea what's going on, you need to see this now because we are recording in this pandemic troubling times.
That's right.
Content has to go on, and we are currently trying to figure out what in the world is happening here if we can actually do this on two different places, because if we can, this has just become revolutionary.
This is, I feel like, oh my goodness, what is happening to the world right now? I don't know. I haven't been out of the house for almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah. I told Suyan I haven't even opened my wooden door for 2 weeks. So yeah,
That's crazy.
that's it. Yeah, what does my slippers feel like? I don't know, to be honest.
What is pants?
Okay.
Okay, so for everyone who
That's
is
great.
joining us for the first time ever, this is us. It's the MingH. We're talking about life, and just so happens
man.
life right now is something that none of us have ever planned for or expected.
Who can plan for this?
Nobody can. This is
No,
the Black Plague at
Bill
DC
Gates.
2020.
Bill Gates planned for this.
Bill Gates planned for this. Conspiracy theories saying that China planned for this.
All right. That's
But
crazy.
you know, there's always going to be crazy claims, and I don't know. Do you think China did this, Megan?
I don't think they willingly did this. I think if there was any facts to be thrown around, the Chinese government has taken responsibility for the state of they call them the exotic wild animal markets, right?
Yep, they have.
They have taken responsibility for that, but I don't think anyone can be blamed for plague. So just to put it out there,
Definitely
yeah, no one talks about it when, it was like the Spanish flu or this and that and the white man measles, right? I don't know, I'm just making up names. But I think there has been certain hints of racism because of this, but it's not fair. It's not fair to anyone. We're
I
all,
think- Certain is an understatement, but my goodness, what a time to be alive. We are in we were in week 2 now. By
Day
right,
15.
when they announced the movement restriction order, we were supposed to be done by the 31st.
Sorry, this is day 16. Yes, you're right. 2 days
This
ago.
is day 16. Yeah, and
Day 16.
we're not. We're
Wow.
still at home.
Yeah, we
and
are.
It's being extended for another 2 weeks, and who knows? It might be extended for the rest of the month. And I think that's something that we talked about. This past week,
Right.
when we did our table talk live on Instagram. I'm so sorry for the birds. They
okay.
are having a good time.
Okay.
But we talked about it on the table talk live on Instagram, and we talked with you guys who were listening as well. Some of y'all tuned in, and y'all think that it might be extended. Do you think that it's still going to be extended?
I don't know. I think there are possibilities because I think people need to realize like this is not hey, after the 14th of April we're done, the world is safe. It's not one of those situations we're in.
Yeah, it's really not, man.
We are still, the world is still a big question mark for whether we actually have a vaccine. The great news is that the vaccine testings have begun in the white man countries. But the bad news is for it to be anywhere near ready for the whole world to use, wake up guys, not anytime soon. Yeah,
Months out.
I would say close to a year, but yeah, whether or not Malaysia even gets it yet, that's a whole other thing. And we got so many things going around, like people are getting tardy. This is like what? Yeah, week 2, day 2, right? People are getting tardy and they're starting to go out and go around, and the police are like, just, can you please stay home, people? Why? And there was this auntie that stays near the Kota Damansara area where our studio is, and she was arrested because she was shouting at the police. Why? Auntie, are you listening? Maybe she's in prison. Maybe she cannot listen. I'm sorry.
I get it. So I recently saw an article today on the Facebooks, and I think it was a UGC user generated content. Someone wrote an opinion article saying that people who are sort of like violating the MRO should not be treated as criminals. So they shouldn't be arrested and everything. I, what do you think of that? Like, I saw the article and I was
Wow.
like, this person has a point. Like, technically, like people who go jogging or
Right.
or like go out and walk around, like and then the police comes up, rides up, and then catches them and arrests them. I feel
Right,
like
right.
it's a bit extreme, but if we're speaking in extremes, let me flip it the other way around, lah. If let's say you did like somehow contracted corona or the coronies as we
Right.
call it,
Right.
but you are not but you're not exhibiting symptoms, or you're not befallen
You
because
just don't
of
know.
it.
Yeah.
You just don't know, right? But then you go to somewhere where there is old people and young children, and then you give them, and then let's say 4 of them die. Technically,
Okay.
you killed them.
You are the
Blood's on your
murderer.
hands,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would say that maybe it's okay to treat people who are jogging as criminals at this point.
I mean, if it gets the job done, we are in those pansy countries where like the police will come and politely ask you. I'm like watching videos from India. The police are taking sticks and canes and whipping people on the streets
so much
because
we
I
laugh
think that's
about it,
just
but it's real.
that's just how you get things done, right?
Yeah. So do we?
I think
you think people should do that in Malaysia?
I
The
think
police
so.
Just
I
beating
really,
people up.
I would, I will volunteer. I will go out and fight for this country
I'll
if I
do it
can
so.
beat some aunties and uncles. Like
I'll do
seriously,
it.
pass me that stick. I think in law there's literally stuff like first degree murder, second degree murder, third degree murder.
Yes, yes.
And people get arrested for that, whether or not you did the crime. If you
Yes.
are an associate of that crime, you
Yes.
get arrested and put to jail. And
Yeah.
I think it's the difficult part about this is you unknowingly are doing the crime of potentially killing someone. So
It's true.
there are people debating this, but please, if you don't want to be part of the debate, just don't risk yourself polluting someone's life, lah. I mean, just
Correct.
stop, lah, please.
I
There's
agree.
nothing wrong with that,
And-
just stay at home.
I think there has been so in Malaysia at least, I don't know if any Singaporeans or Australians are listening to this. I don't know how good or bad it is over there, but I know Singapore is having a good time. Everyone's like just out and about still.
Yeah,
But,
well,
but,
yeah.
but for us Malaysians, we've had there has been, I would say very objectively, there has been ways that the government, or this current new government, again, I don't know how many times we want to
Right.
change, right? This new government, I want to say that there has been some positive ways that they have reacted to the situation.
Surprisingly,
some of
you're
them-
right. Yes.
Yeah, some of them being sort of like the allocation of funds to help with certain groups of people.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everyone's
Yeah.
going to be happy and not complain.
course not.
there's going to be complainers,
Yeah.
right? But then, so there's the good positive ones, and then there's
Yeah.
some of them which are just like, sorry, you go to school or not? So I'll kick it off, right? On the first, on the night before the quarantine, or the night before the
MCO.
movement restriction order,
Yeah.
the head of the police force said to everybody that you cannot leave the state. If you want to leave the state to go anywhere, you need to get a letter from the police station.
Oh,
And
bad
in
move.
that hour itself, police stations all around the country were flooded with people, and
Yeah.
which kind of like
Basically
eliminated
what you
the
wanna
whole.
avoid.
Exactly, like you don't want to be in a crowded situation, and essentially that's
Yeah.
what they created, right? So that was just, I
Yeah.
mean, and then right after that, and like 45 minutes, they retracted the statement and they said, okay,
But you can't, you can't blame the police, yo. like I feel like the police are just carrying out their jobs, right? You need to blame whoever put that call out, whoever that part of the government
Yeah, yeah.
that said, please go register at the police. Everyone
yeah,
together.
correct. I mean, it could have been the head of the police department. I don't know who said it, but I mean, if he was
Yeah.
the face on the article, then high chance I'm just gonna think it's him.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be fair to the rakyat lah. You give them 1 day to prepare. Of course, a lot
Correct,
of them
correct.
who are working outside their hometowns alone would want to be with their family, if not alone. Yes, we understand that. Yeah, you carry your virus back to your family, but can you just imagine like the sudden shock? You give people 1 day to respond. What they gonna do? Right?
Yeah,
like
flip out,
what
dude.
choice do you leave? I think that's what really sets a logistical, a proper, calm, collected government compared to someone who is just like, or some people who are just like, okay, we do this now. They don't think about like how are people going to respond to it? What do you think is going to happen after you tell them this? And the worst part was no proper orders were given to the country.
Zero, dude.
Nothing. They were just told like get ready for 2 weeks. Pop, skitty pop, all the best. You know, maybe you're gonna buy some bread somewhere, but 2 weeks. And there were no proper things like, okay, you guys, if you guys want to go back to your hometowns, please consider this. A caring government would say like, we understand this, but this is why we're doing it. Nothing was given. But hey, we're 2 weeks in, guys. We are 2 weeks in, and it's been working out. So let's just put that under the bridge, under the carpet.
I think if we're looking at yesterday's reports of how many cases that were reported, it's definitely gone down. I think at one point it was 196 new cases in a day. Yesterday was down to just 100, under 150 actually. That said, we're still waiting for 4th of April, and this is a theory that I put out, that I think that 4th of April is going to be a very telling sort of date, because I think the 2 weeks incubation period of the coronies will spike on the 4th of April, so that if there is a spike, it's expected. Don't feel like we're dying. This is the week. This is the week. So if the next day and the days following after that, it doesn't go down, then we can be worried together.
Yes.
And then who we gonna blame? All the people who still go outside. That one.
Yes. The uncle auntie in specifically, we're just calling out WhatsApp groups. Represent. You know how each state got people they want to blame, right? Like Penang got the wet market. Selangor, we know who we blaming. Mon Kiara.
Who we blaming?
I don't know why. Why are we blaming Mon Kiara?
Dude, Mon Kiara. Okay, so. Peace and love to everyone who stays in Mont Kiara. I love y'all. Mont Kiara is a great place. But is it y'all think this is what Elysium, is it? Y'all like protected by this some force field with no virus. I see pictures of people running around, jogging, going to... What the smackola is going on, man?
I think there's some very misinformed foreigners there that feel like they cannot get the virus because it's an Asian virus. That's that's the main misconception. But guess what? The virus is definitely not as racist as you. The virus coming for you. The cronies are coming for your baronies. But please, guys, just stay at home. We're making really good progress. But you're right. This is the week where the 2 weeks incubation thing. So it's supposed to be flaring up right about now, at the time of our recording. But I think you guys, when you guys are listening to this, like we'll be smack in the estimated flaring up period. So hey, chill, take it easy. This is where the control starts. Yeah.
The second thing that I want to talk about in terms of like the government and all that, right, is two things in particular. First one, I want to, before I talk about phase 2 of the movement restriction order, I want to talk about, there's a lot of birds. Okay, I want to talk about this beautiful post. And this is all the rage because everyone started to laugh at it. That women, children. Okay, sorry. Can we pull up what's the?
They got the women and kids.
Accurate?
The Kementerian Wanita dan something, is it?
Okay, hold on. We cannot.
I mean,
I have to call
we
this up.
We can't. We need to be factual intellectuals. Factuals.
Okay. So it's the Women and Children's Welfare Ministry.
Okay.
Hold on. I still haven't correct. Producers, can you all send the link in the chat? Does anyone have it?
Is it the Kementerian Pembangunan Wanita thing? Okay, so I'm just referring to some newspaper write-ups, right? It's the Ketua Pengarah Jabatan Pembangunan Wanita.
Let's call out names, Mengan. Let's call out names.
So basically, it's called the Kementerian Pembangunan Wanita, Keluarga dan Masyarakat. It's a very long, ugly acronym, KPWKM. That was the bunch of people responsible for a very interesting series of posts that MingY is about to talk about. I don't know what the exact translation into English is, but it is the Kementerian Pembangunan Wanita, Keluarga dan Masyarakat. That is the branch involved.
And so they decided to put out a very informative infographic.
Wow, informative.
Informative is to say the least, right? But it's with a very powerful hashtag.
Oh man!
Called Wanita Cegah COVID-19.
Oh.
Okay, so if you had to translate that, what would that mean, Mengan? Wanita
Cegah. So it's women, the ladies. Wow, what's the translation for cegah in English?
What's cegah? Wow.
It's like mencegah is to get rid of something negative.
Discourage.
Cegah is like women are the fight.
Combat
The-
COVID.
the fight
prevent,
against-
It's
yeah, yeah.
prevent. Women prevent COVID-19, right? And this is
Oh,
brought to
that's
you
true.
by
Preventing. Oh my lord.
this is brought to you by the Ministry of Women, Family and Society or Community Development and
Yeah.
the Jabatan Pembangunan Wanita. So again, women development, right? And
Right.
and in a turn of events, right? This infographic managed to somehow set back. I'm not even going to talk about feminism, all right? Like I have to
Right, right.
leave feminism out of this. They somehow managed to set back rational and normal thinking at least 50 years back. Like that's redonkulous.
Okay, let's try and think it from a point where there's no good points to this. Okay,
Zero.
maybe the slack that we can give was someone was trying to be funny lah. So sometimes when you type something in your head and then you read it a certain way, it's quite funny, but I think this guy just had the short end of the stick right there. I don't think.
So I'm gonna read out. the
Oh,
text,
man.
right? The body of text, and
Sure.
Just get blown away, alright? Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Jika melihat pasangan melakukan sesuatu yang bercanggah dengan kehendak kita, elakkan dari
man.
berleter, gunakan perkataan humorous seperti cara sidai baju macam ni lah sayangku, tiru nada Doraemon dan diikuti dengan gelak manja. In English, I'm going to attempt to translate this. So this is for the ladies, right, apparently.
Oh,
if
man.
you see and witness your partner doing something that is, what the heck is bercanggah? Like,
That goes against what you want.
okay, that goes against what you want.
In opposition,
you,
yeah.
You shouldn't nag. You should use
Okay.
humorous words and things like, this is how you should fold or hang clothes, my love, in the
Okay.
tone of Doraemon, followed up by a cute and adorable giggle. Minghan, can you show us
giggle.
what that sounds like?
Yeah,
Sound
thank
like
God
having
I'm
a
not doing
stroke.
it. That's crazy. I
That
will get
is-
nope.
So obviously, this post on Facebook, got a flood
It
of
blew up.
response. Right, it freaking
Yeah.
blew up. People were parodying it and just kind of like tearing it apart within the
Man.
first 10 minutes of itself.
Yeah.
What do you think of this, Minghan? Why? I don't know, dude.
I mean, like you said, sometimes we get the tone wrong, and unfortunately, if you are in a place in the government that has to do with women's rights, this is not a tone you want to get wrong. I think there was some humor behind it to try and lighten the mood. But that's the only slack I want to cut it because yes, I think everyone needs a bit of comedy. So maybe that was what they were trying to do. But I think in this situation, when you're representing women's rights, you do not want to make them an object of ridicule. Basically that. And referring to things like Swara Doraemon, it is more of a question of who greenlight this copywriting. Who is the guy in charge, right? Like you could have said so many different things. Like if you are in an argument or you're in a moment where you're disagreeing with your spouse, take a step back and mind the tone of your voice. That's all. That's all. You could have just said that, right? But I think
something that made it worse was that, since the movement restriction order, that people are spending more time at home, right? Apparently, it's been reported that domestic abuse and violence has increased quite severely, right? So it was reported to the Ministry's Talian Kasih hotline that has been an increase in 57% of calls from women. And I feel like putting on something like this, and that wasn't the only picture that they posted up, right? There was another post about telling ladies to don't wear
dress
home
up
clothes.
and everything.
Dress up, put on makeup, and wear like jewelry and shit like that, right? Like the focus and the question here was, what are you trying to insinuate to men and women that women need to be to behave a certain way so that they don't deserve to get abused, And I think that's crazy. Like as a ministry that's supposed to protect women and help them, you are telling women like, it's probably your fault. So this is how you cannot do it, or like how you don't get beaten up.
I feel like the phrase victim shaming and victim blaming is something it's something that just everyone is very used to. But I don't know, man. If anyone from this government, I really doubt that they're hearing this podcast, but people in ministries, if you have this kind of perspective where if domestic violence happens at home, if abuse happens at home, if something there's a disagreement that is that's happening at home, and immediately you address the symptom and not the cause of it, shame on
Yeah.
you. There
Yeah.
is nothing is going to change by putting makeup on. Nothing is going to change by imitating a Japanese character's voice if you don't address the fact that the stupid man, the stupid abuser, needs to address himself first. And
Yeah.
whoever is in this government, I think this is a tone that has been happening a lot in countries where there's a lot of, I would say, traditional practices in culture or religion. And this goes across all cultures and all religions, where guys have a lot of male dominance is the real problem in this. I think if anyone, I mean, in the culture of abuse, in not the culture, sorry, in the horrible issues of abuse, of rape, the victim never holds the key to solving the problem. So asking the victim to dress nicer is absolute bullshit. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to say that. And shame on shame on anyone in the government. Shame on anyone in ministries who are addressing the symptoms instead of the real issues. So it's absolute bullshit. We're calling it out. Shame on you. Please use this influence on your social media to do something better, for crying out loud. Oh my gosh.
After the immediate backlash that they received, obviously they took down all these posts and they said they were sorry for it. You know, they meant it as helpful tips. But again, I don't want to question. I don't know. Like, the fault could lie with the agency. The fault could lie with a number of people. But altogether, I think we know that's just a stupid piece.
Yeah, what was stopping them
advice.
from just saying, instead of like asking the women, seriously, what was the difference, right? If you stand up for women, why couldn't you just have done why couldn't these people just have done instead a post for the guys? You know, for husbands, you could have just taken an angle like, welcome to your wife's daily life. If you feel frustrated, always remember your wife has been going through this every single day of the week. If you feel frustrated, why don't you address the husband instead and say, why don't you take a step back, calm down, and in your stupid attitude, you do the Doraemon voice lah. You know, why not? Might as well. Do Shizuka instead. Why Doraemon?
Shizuka.
Doraemon's an earless cat. Basically that. He's a robot.
From the future.
From the future. And unfortunately, these posts are not from the future at all.
Unfortunately. I mean,
Man.
that's I mean, so that was something that just happened recently.
It'll
Another
rile
thing
me
that
up.
was
Okay.
that
Yeah.
happened moving into phase 2 of the movement restriction order here in Malaysia was that the government decided to somehow and for some reason impose 8 to 8 sort of schedule now for food delivery and restaurants.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which
There was a
I
whole
feel-
bunch of
I feel like why are you doing that? I feel like you should leave that to the food store owners to decide if they want to kind of close early or open early. Because now that you have it 8 to 8, right, people are going to panic buy. They're going to start like flocking, and there's going to be more people when you want there to be less people, right?
Yeah, is it like after 8 o'clock the virus is more active? Is it? Like,
think
where
so.
did this
At night-
information come from?
At night, then it just becomes vicious, you know?
So
and
only
then-
8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Yeah. Sure.
And then what else is there? There was also a restriction on transportation now that the certain public transportation services provided will only operate from a certain time in the morning and the evening. Then the rest of the time how, you know? But one thing that really tickled me in the butt, right, was this one.
Oh, okay.
This one is, oh my goodness. So the defense minister, I know this for a fact. The defense minister said that it is compulsory that if you go out, there can only be one person in the car. Explain this to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what is... So you want people to just flood the roads and car parks and like what is the rationale behind this? Because if there's a household and there's people who are staying together, being in the same car doesn't change anything because they've already been staying together.
Exactly. Like what changes by putting one person or two people in the same car? who are coming from the same house. I personally, I literally have the same thoughts as well. In fact, it could actually help more than not, right? Because if
Yeah.
like just putting out the bet, right? If you are from a family like let's say who has one kid like mine, where one person needs to go out and one person needs to go in all the time, right? Putting one person in the car actually contaminates the car more than having two people in the car. Like, because if you have two people, let's say you have a designated driver and you got a designated guy like going down to pick stuff up, you can actually control what you touch in the car. If you are the damn driver and the grocery buyer, you touch everything. And
Correct,
guess what? The germs are going to be in your car, just, simmering and breeding. And no, not breeding. That's unfactual. And it basically, it is not a good call. If you're putting out a hunting party, that's why police always have partners, right? You got one guy and you got one guy like always covering the back. There are just so many questionable things that Malaysia has added on to their list of things to do during this lockdown season. Yes, I understand the whole public transport thing. There are some countries which have taken even more stricter rules, right? Where they completely stop public transport. Places like China or Japan and whatnot. But saying to delivery people like after 8 o'clock you can't deliver, I mean, let's be honest.
Why is this based on, seriously? That's my question, right?
Unless the government is giving some incentive to help these businesses from taking away from their business time, I don't think that's a fair option. Because nothing changes after 8 o'clock. And by giving people more time to order food, you spread out any problems of like overcrowding a business or like any problems of having too many people on the road at the same time. That's just common sense.
That's freaking common sense.
Lockdown time.
So,
oh my gosh.
statements like these, right, were responded with comments like, okay, if there's going to be only like allowed one person in the car at a time, what about those families who have disabled children that need to be with them all the time? So does that mean you leave the child at home? Does that mean you leave the old person at home?
Yeah, I would believe that because we've definitely someone out there listening, you guys got the those WhatsApps that have the messages where I got summoned by the police and everything. I do have to commend a lot of police officers these days because like they really in their words they really have like their own wisdom and budi bicara. So like yes, the government might have done that, but I think there have been many police officers who have taken the step to actually look into the car and analyze the situation before they do anything.
Correct.
So good on them, but shame on the rule. Okay, the rule was definitely a stupid ultimatum that did not make sense and just had to be said. I don't know what is in your talking points because we're in separate houses right now. But can we talk about the fact when our PM made that amazing sweeping statement of facing this unprecedented hidden danger and no one gets left behind?
Okay, yeah, that was.
Oh
when was
my
it? That was
gosh.
like week 1, week 2, right?
It was towards the announcement of the extension, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I remember that one. Okay,
That was the most
wow.
That was an impressive speech, and I felt that a lot of people was so taken by it because of the flowery English. I do believe that immediately someone's writing his speeches. Like just want to put it out there.
Always, yeah.
So will that help? I do believe that yes, that's a very big step that the PM has taken, but I do want to say also that it to everyone who suddenly just switched and say like, wow, great, amazing, guys, it's a speech. If you look at the facts, you still need to see that the way they are managing this, it cannot be excused by one speech. They are trying their best, but it's not great. It's really not great. And I'm just putting it out here because I feel like a lot of people forgave the backdoor government after that speech. And I just wanted to say that no, that does not justify anything. It was just a great speech. Just saying.
Yeah, correct. I mean, just one great speech, if that's all it takes to take over an entire country, sign me up, man. Literally, just sign me up.
A lot of writers are going to be signing up and tell you that. Oh, man.
Moving on, I feel something that we got to touch on actually, which is a bit closer to home because a lot of our friends own F&B businesses, and we've been very vocal in supporting them. I feel like there has been a lot of personal stories about how people have have gone to hawker stalls, and bought food from these uncle and aunties who, from first glance, you're thinking, wow, they really don't care about this lockdown. They just go out and you see, now I'm using the word lockdown. That they just go out and still just behave like nothing's going on, and that's so easy to pass judgment like that. But then I think what we don't realize and what we don't see is that that's all they have to survive. And a friend of ours on Facebook, his name is Gary Chong, and he was telling a story of how this uncle who owns a chicken rice store, he can only now make 100 to 150 ringgit for selling chicken rice for 12 hours. And it's devastating because that's all he has to bring home at the end of the day after 12 hours, right? And I think MingH as well, you did a Instagram post about local F&Bs and brands that could use a shout out, right? Let's talk about that for a bit,
I think there's this whole thing where when it comes to money and suddenly everyone feels like their livelihood is threatened. I don't blame anyone for that, for reacting in any way. But I think a lot of people nowadays need to take a step back and understand that our uncle kai fan, our auntie char kway teow, our kakak nasi lemak or ane mama, these guys don't have Grab, A lot of these guys don't have delivery services. A lot of these guys, if they don't sell that day, they don't have money that day. That whole phrase or kais pagi makan pagi, kias petang. I can't remember whether it's kias or kais. Oh my lord, my Malay. Basically, what that means is you get what you eat in the morning, you get what you eat in the afternoon. That's a horrible translation, but these guys, if they don't make money that day, they don't have money that day. Full stop. And it's not about what the government is trying to give them. And just so you know, it's $200 a month for 3 months. Think about that for a while. $200 a month. That's the only relief they get. They need to earn $200 a day to survive.
And a lot of them
families.
Can't even apply for these grants or funds,
And it's just outrageous when it. Did you hear about this? Because I don't know, because we've been not in the studio together. Do you know that whole drama about this artist online talking about the makcik Kia? Do you hear about this?
No, I missed this one.
Oh, you missed a shitstorm, man. There was this artist, I'm not going to say who. I think everyone, if you know about this, but basically let's just say it's a mainstream artist. He compared himself to the makcik Kia. This joker who is wearing Apple earpods, sitting in a luxurious house, was the biggest douchebag of all time, because he compared himself to say like, why the government give her money? I'm an artist, I also working from my house, I need the money too. I'm like, shut up. There's no comparison. Goodness. Like, there is different socio-economic groups of people, right? And the group that everyone is victimizing right now is the group that apparently is not obeying the MCO, is still going out there and doing work. And some of these guys have taken it a step further and like they are victimizing themselves because the government is helping this group and not me. You get what I mean? He went even further to say like, if I can work from home, why don't the makcik work from home? Why don't the makcik open a store in her own house? And I'm like, do you have balls for brains? Like, what is wrong with you? That was a huge hoo-ha online the other day, And I'm just thinking like, wow, guys, 2 weeks in, we are really seeing who is entitled. We are really seeing who is overprivileged to be able to spout like the nonsense that they're talking about. And the guy was going on about like, y'all don't understand me. It's an artist thing. Like, no, you are stupid. You live in your own reality. And you if you think that inviting the makcik Kia to open a shop in her own house solves the problem, you obviously don't know anything about people's lives.
Correct.
That was just, there's no solution to this. This was just a rant. It was just basically pure and utter bullshit. I'm so sorry to say. But that was a thing. It was huge. All my brothers and sisters, the Malay brothers and sisters, they were up in that alley, man. Like, wow, that was crazy. Please. But at the same time, please go and support, all this local F&B lah. Shout out to all our friends.
Man, that was a fun time.
Forgive me for the outrage. But yeah, please support your local F&Bs.
So let's quickly talk about how this is affecting local businesses. And I think the Bureau in the first week or second week wrote an article about how if you don't support your local businesses now, there will be no local businesses when we come back from this. And people like close friends like the team at Burger Lab, they have shifted to become a break-even business for the entire duration of this quarantine period because they have staff to pay. But they also, it's difficult for everybody. And so I would like to encourage everyone who's listening to this or watching this, if you are actively ordering food, I mean, of course, we're not saying that you should fork out money that you don't have to pay for food and everything. If you are living simply, just continue with that. But if you guys have access, right, that you're ordering like fancy foods on Grab and Foodpanda and whatnot, maybe consider...
If you're able,
Yeah, if you're able, like definitely consider ordering food from a local local F&B restaurant, whether it's something like Burger Lab or what else besides Burger Lab, Strangers 47.
I mean,
or even if it's just
it doesn't.
Even if it's just going to the coffee shop near you and getting a packet of chicken rice, right, and you're buying extra that you can heat up in the evening later to eat. I think something like that, something as small,
helps so much.
It really goes a long way because these guys like. It's people think that owning a business. Okay, so two things, right? People think that being your own boss and owning your own business is a lucrative thing. It's really not. So I feel like in these situations, people need to just. There's a lot of assumptions, but maybe if you took some time to think about what the other person is going through and where they're at, I think that would be a great place to kind of like just figure out who you could help around you. Because I know we're all sort of like separated and living alone. I mean, but we're still in this together, yeah.
I mean, if you guys really wanted to take the time, there are even ways to support local grocers, not just people who are selling ready-made food. There are farms, there are wholesalers. All you need to do is use this amazing device called your phone and Google. That's all you got to do, guys. Of course, just be careful with reviews. But at this time, seriously, there's a lot of reviews going around. There are a lot of good places. People have personally, because like we take stories and stuff, right? For our groceries and stuff. I personally don't want to say we don't want to give recommendations because it's in a time where these guys are all very new to us and we don't want to be guilty of recommending you someone bad. But just do your due diligence, go and search it up, and you could help someone who's just really growing potatoes, because potatoes are in like real hangat, they're real hot stuff right now. Oh man! So yeah, it's not just about it's just not just about the F&Bs. There are grocers who need your help. There are sundry shops who need your help. Stop by and help. Yeah, man. Oh my gosh. It has been a long episode of just like renting it out.
It's just like there's so many things that have happened even in this past 2 weeks, right? So I don't know. I mean, for everyone who's listening and gotten this far in the podcast, thank you so much for being with us, even though it's really difficult and no one knows what's happening, right? Any final words, MingH?
Stay home, stay safe. Clean your phones and laptops, for crying out loud. Other than that, I really hope everyone listening in, like, we don't know how this podcast is going to turn out, to be honest. But we hope you enjoy it. The team is trying our best to keep you guys entertained while you're at home. But yeah, everyone stay safe and stay clean. Make good choices, guys, if you got to go out. That's all I'm saying.
That's all, man. Really. I mean, if you guys can support local business, do it. Once a week is a great way to start. Be kind to the people around you, whether it's the guards, whether it's the delivery people. Offer them some food or water, of course, if it's clean, right? But yeah, just be safe and stay positive, guys. Let's be hopeful and optimistic about everything. So until then, get caught up with all the episodes of Table Talk on Spotify and YouTube. We're also available on Facebook and Instagram as well. Check out Head Over Heels and Amen episodes. And until the next time where we see you, take care of yourself.
Jangan babi. Yeah.
Jangan babi.
Jangan babi. Hashtag Jangan babi. Basically, just be clean and smart.
Peace out.
That's it. Peace out, guys. Take care.